What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Angle of Pursuit podcast, your fantasy football, sports betting, and NASCAR home here at fakepigskin.com. I'm your host, Kyle Robert. You follow me on Twitter at NotoriousKRO. With me once again, it's Brian Twining. Brian, the NASCAR playoffs roll along, this time on a Saturday. Smart move by NASCAR with the
Yes.
NFL getting underway in earnest this week, but we're heading to Richmond. We are talking the Federated Auto Parts 400.
They continue to get better.
When they think they can't one up themselves, here we are. Oh, cool. My camera's bouncing again, so that should be fun. All right, let's dive into it before this thing gets off the rails real quick. What a race we had last week, huh? That was quite something.
That was something. And the fact that Kevin Harvick was able to come out victorious in a race where he was basically a lap down was something to be seen. It was amazing.
He's doing something special this year. I told you he's going to win the championship. Let's start like we always do, inside 10-1. If you're looking at a driver or two, is there a name that pops out to you? Because I think we're on the same page with this one.
Yeah, and I think we've transitioned into the Martin Truex Jr. podcast because we continuously pick him week in and week out. And again, it's another track that we've seen him be extremely successful at. He's won here 2 consecutive races. He's got 3 straight top 3 finishes here. He's led over 100 laps in 5 straight and 6 of the last 7 at Richmond. To me, he's the clear front runner for the race. And if we're even like diving into the DFS for NASCAR this week, starting in the 14th position, he offers tremendous upside for spots moved up. So I think it's a no-brainer. Truex is my favorite this week.
Yep, 100%. All the things you said, the recent form, the history at this track. If you are playing DFS, he's a great option just because you don't normally get drivers like him starting as far back as he is. I'm just pulling up the lineup right now just so I can get a grasp on it. But yeah, he's he's starting back at 14th though. Yeah, he's gonna have a chance to make up some serious ground. But I think it's a great track for that to happen. And there's a clear reason why he's basically him and Harvick and even Denny Hamlin are kind of the trio up at the top. If we're gonna go a little lower. I'm staying inside that 10-1, and I'm going to go with your arch nemesis, Joey Logano.
Don't do it.
I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. This is a guy that, in terms of his trajectory, his season's been kind of up and down all over the place, but this is a guy that's historically done really well here. 11th and 2nd in both the 2019 races. Has a top 5 in 4 of the last 6. A guy that runs well, that knows his track, that has a comfort level. And I'm getting 9-1 on him. Like, for a guy that's done as well as he has and has the elite upside that he possesses, I feel like that's a really good price and a number that, if Joey was 5 or 6, I don't know that I'd be so inclined to dive in. And maybe that's the book getting me and saying, hey, here's a number that we'll catch some fish with. But here I come. I'm biting on that. I'm biting on the hook, and we're gonna see what happens. But inside 10-1, just barely. I do like me some Joey Logano quite a bit. But Brian, we got to do what we always do. We're outside 10-1, boys. We have to dive deeper. We have to go lower. And we'll start with one of the guys that we liked a lot coming out of the restart, and that's Kurt Busch, who's 28-1 this week.
Yeah, and this is a guy right here who, it's not like he's had great success at this track, but he's currently inside the playoffs. He's right near that cutoff line for this next round. So going into this race, we're probably going to see him race a little bit more aggressive, which means he's going to be trying to move up the track a lot more. He has a good starting spot. He's starting 8th. Mm-hmm. He's on one of those good bad streaks here with an 11th and 18th or 11th, 18th. And so he's due to have a better finish than he did the previous race here. And that's seems to be working when you're looking at trends.
Yep.
And you know, he's one of those guys that is consistent in terms of running near or inside the top 10. And for a guy who's just outside the cut line right now in the playoffs, he's one of my favorite values for somebody, especially getting a good starting position in the fourth row at starting eighth.
Yep. No, I like that call quite a bit. I'm going to have you hit the next one because I got to do it to you this week. I went even lower than you did. So I'm proud of myself for this one. But let's talk some William Byron at 50-1.
All right, yeah, Byron. He doesn't have a lot of races here. He's only raced here 4 times, and he's also on a good bad streak with a 12th, the 20th, 13th, and 24th place finishes. Therefore, he's due for a good finish. In this season so far, the youngster has been balling out. I mean, he has 3 consecutive top 5 finishes. He won a couple of weeks ago. And if you look at his last 9 races in the 2020 year, his average finish is 10th, with 4 of those being inside the top 8. He's 9th in the standings right now, just outside the next round looking in. So he's another guy who's going to be looking to have some pretty fast lap times. He's got to be near the top. He has to get those stage points, and he's going to have to finish at or ahead, the guys like Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Eric Almirola, all of them to stay in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, and I'm really curious to see, obviously this is like the first kind of chunk of the NASCAR playoff, how some of these guys do and how aggressive they get and how much they want to push and what some of the other guys that aren't necessarily fighting for playoff points, but still want to perform well, still want to, assure their seats for the following seasons, whatever it may be. But yeah, Byron's a guy obviously that's popped at times, and I think it has a really good chance at kind of doing it once again. So I'm going to go even lower. I'm going to dive deep. I'm going to find value, and I'm going Ryan Newman at 100-1.
That is crazy.
This is a guy that has had success at this track since switching to Roush Fenway, which he did in 2019, a 5th and a 9th in his last 2 trips. Had a 7th and a 3rd back in 2017. 2018 was not his year. Ended up switching teams after that, so who knows exactly what was going on, but there was clearly something. I'm probably not diving in at the 100-1, like as nice of a payday as that would be. I'm not really expecting that, especially the way Newman's driven of lately. And he's starting, I believe, in 21st this week. So I'm not sure I love that. But as we transition into the end of where we always go and our best bets, I'm looking at Ryan Newman, who is 20-1 to finish in the top 5. I'm looking at Ryan Newman, who is 11-1 to finish in the top 20-1 finish in top 3, 11-1 to finish top 5, and plus 250 to finish top 10. And I mean, all these numbers are courtesy DraftKings Sportsbook, but like plus 250 to finish in the top 10, like he has to make up 11 spots for a guy that's historically done that. Maybe I throw a little bit on that 20-1 number or the top 5 at 11. Like I like that, maybe a 10, 20 spot kind of thing, 50, 100, however big your units are. But I like Ryan Newman a lot. I know he's not in the playoff hunt, but there's some guys that just tend to pop at certain tracks. I think he does that this week. This is a place where he's been comfortable, done really well over the history, and is probably looking to make sure he stays in that seat for a while. So wants to keep the good times rolling. So my best bet is Ryan Newman for a top 10 at plus 250.
Woo! I like that call. The only thing that I worry about with Newman is he seems to always be on the opposite end of those bad luck crashes, as he's constantly the one in the wrong place at the wrong time. And so that would be my only worry with him.
Yep, and it always seems to happen with the weeks that I pick him to do something. The weeks that I don't pick him, the weeks I fade him, that's the weeks he actually does something. But I mean, because even what was the race a couple weeks ago?
I think it was Darlington.
Darlington, yeah, where he was rolling and doing really well, and all of a sudden he gets caught up in that massive collision, and then he's 8 laps behind. And he's out of the race, and so Ryan Newman, don't do it to me again this week. I'm expecting you to keep it rolling. Brian Twining, hit me with your best bet.
All right, I'm gonna stick with the Busch bro, Kurt Busch, and I'm going a top 5 finish at plus 375.
Woo! I like it.
That's
I
right.
like
Mark it down, baby. Give me that close
Yeah.
to 4 to
Yeah.
1.
I mean, after last week, we got some confidence. We hit a couple winners. Let's get Ryan Newman in the top 10. Let's get Kurt Busch in the top 5, and let's cash some tickets this week. For those of you that are interested in the NFL, we are going to record our Friday preview, best bets, all that good stuff. So come check that out. And if you have fantasy football questions, we will be live on YouTube Sunday morning for an hour, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. West Coast time, 11 to 12 East Coast time. So come join us, hang out, ask questions, bring your betting questions, your lineup questions, all that good stuff. But for
Tell
Brian,
us how stupid our advice is.
yes, come back on Sunday night and say you guys are morons, because I mean, it might happen.
Bring it.
For Brian Twining, I'm Kyle Robert, and we'll talk to you guys next time.